and 8th special presentation.
Next on Artbeat Nation, a play that transports audiences to a place now virtually unknown.
It was cosmopolitan. There was a thriving middle class. The vibrancy of life then really hit me.
A remastered room echoes of times past.
This is sort of a wonderful transatlantic, trans-European project.
A grown-up tale from the writer who gave us goosebumps.
And then they'd say, please write something for us. Please write something for your original audience. That's why I wrote Red Rain.
A photographer who found himself through his art.
I know that I'm not myself without my art.
It's all ahead on Artbeat Nation. Funding for Artbeat Nation is made possible by contributions to 8 from viewers like you. Thank you. Published in 2003, the novel Kite Runner achieved huge success and spent nearly 2 years on the bestseller list. A few years later, playwright Matthew Spengler worked with the book's author, Khaled Hosseini, to bring the story to the stage. Jared Bowen takes us behind the scenes.
Difficult to comprehend now, in the 1970s, Kabul, Afghanistan was a place of urban vitality, a satisfying playground for children, as we find in the opening scenes of The Kite Runner.
Hassan and I would chase each other between trees, playing tag, hide and seek, cops and robbers.
It was a beautiful place. It was cosmopolitan. There was a thriving middle class. The vibrancy of life then really hit me.
The Kite Runner is an adaptation of Khaled Hosseini's best-selling novel of the same name, now being staged at regional theaters around the country. It follows the tortured path to adulthood forged by Amir, the privileged son of a wealthy Afghan. Elaine Von Hogue is the director.
It's a memory play. It's about Amir traveling deep inside his memory and conjuring all these things from the past up.
It's wrong what they say about the past, about how you can bury it, because the past claws its way out.
Like the book, the play spans 30 years, moving from Amir's idyllic childhood to a Soviet invasion onto Taliban control and then to his emigration to the United States. Matthew Spengler is the playwright.
There's so much in it. It's a story about global politics. It's a story about immigration. It's a father-son story. It's a story about two best friends. It's a love story. It's a story of redemption.
It was Spengler who approached Hosseini to adapt the novel, and with the author's consent, the pair worked in concert.
He read drafts of the script, and we would meet, and he would have suggestions. About 90% of his suggestions were things that he would have wanted to change if he was rewriting the book today.
For instance, in the book, the bully whose violence saddles Amir with a lifetime of guilt was half German and half Afghan. Here, he's simply an Afghan.
Answer me when I ask you a question.
But that was something Khaled wanted to change. He said that there was a bully in his neighborhood who was half German and half Afghan. But people don't know that, and Khaled feared that folks might just see that as sort of cheap shorthand to the bully, to the bad guys, if all bad guys are half German.
Largely, though, the heart of the novel remains intact. A rebuke, Spengler says, to Afghan stereotypes.
Specifically that it's a place of violence and poverty. I mean, it does have its fair share of those things, but it's a lot of other things as well, and I think Kite Runner points to those other things.
Most vividly captured in the kite fighting scenes.
She held the kite high over his head. I jerked our string twice. Hassan tossed the kite, and it was rocketing toward the sky.
That's about the community coming together. That's about different generations coming together, men, women, upper class, lower class coming together for this incredible event.
It is a Kabul lost to history, but for the page and stage.
To find out more about this and other works by playwright Matthew Spengler, visit MatthewSpengler.org. Next, we take a trip back in time to 18th century New England. Adorned with priceless wallpaper and antique oil paintings, the Van Rensselaer hallway is restored from the mansion of one of the largest landowners in the 1760s. Curator Amelia Peck takes us through the gallery in New York City's Metropolitan Museum of Art.
My name is Amelia Peck. I'm a curator in the American Wing at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. This is the Van Rensselaer hallway from their mansion that was built between 1765 and 1768 in Albany, New York. The Van Rensselaers were a quite well-to-do family, so this was probably one of the very largest houses that was being built in the period, certainly in New York State, in New England. This would be considered sort of Rococo style, mid-18th century. The architecture is very Georgian, quite symmetrical with beautiful moldings and carvings. But the really important and interesting thing about this room is the wallpaper. It's one of 3 rooms that we know that survive that have this extraordinary painted wallpaper, 2 in the United States and 1 in England. This is sort of a wonderful transatlantic, trans-European project. The scenes started out as paintings by French artists, so they were full-color paintings. Then they were made into prints, again by French artists, and so then they became black and white. And then, in England, a paper stainer, that's what they were called this time, painted these into big pieces of wallpaper. But instead of using the original colored paintings, they decided to go with the prints because it was very fashionable at this time in England to have something that was called print rooms, where you would collect prints and then you would put them all up on the wall as if they were wallpaper. So this is like a print room gone very, very large. The larger landscapes that you see are all scenes from various places in Italy. The smaller ones that are in the more ornate frames are the Four Seasons. And then on the far ends are these long trophies, and those are the 4 elements: earth, air, fire, and water. So there are 4 different thematic programs going on within the various prints, now wallpaper, in the room. A wallpapered room like this would have been very unusual with these big scenic prints. Certainly wallpaper was being used, but not like this. It would have been more kind of repeat wallpaper with patterns, but not these big paintings. We decided to do paint analysis on many of our rooms to see if the colors that they had been painted when they were first installed, and this room was first installed in 1931, were really the right colors. So this room had been painted gray to harmonize with the gray in the wallpaper, and everyone thought that looked fine. What we discovered when we did paint analysis was that the room's woodwork should be this wonderful, rich gold. To make the room even richer, there's so many stories that can be told by a period room between the architecture and the furnishings and the family who lived here, and even what happened to it when it got to the museum, that we've installed computers, which will make our visitors enjoy their tours of the rooms even more by giving them multiple ways of looking at our rooms. This is probably not how the room was originally set up. Being a hallway, people would be coming in here, they'd be muddy, they'd been traveling, so probably there was very simple chairs around here, not all these wonderful slab tables. We're using this more as a gallery of 18th century New York furniture, but a couple of pieces in here were actually owned by the Van Rensselaer family. So I hope everyone has enjoyed this tour of the Van Rensselaer room, which is one of 20 rooms that we have in the American Wing that give the history of American interiors from the 17th century all the way to the 20th century, and we hope that you'll come and enjoy visiting all of our rooms.
To find out more about the home and its remains, visit metmuseum.org. Author R.L. Stine has been giving kids goosebumps for decades. Now, on the 20th anniversary of the children's series, Stine has published a new book for adults titled Red Rain. Steve Adubato talks to the author about his explosive series and the new book for his grown-up readers.
We have one of the most prolific writers you will ever find. You're about to see him right here on camera. He is R.L. Stine, author of Red Rain, but that is just one in a series of books, part of the Goosebumps series of books, started in 1992, celebrating their 20th anniversary. The Goosebumps series has sold, what, about 200 books?
We sold, don't make me say the number. We
Say
sold,
the number.
No, we sold a lot of books.
Say the number.
We sold 300 million, 400 million.
Oh, why are you bragging?
Well, I want to know who counted. I mean, that's the
Oh, my
official
God.
number, but who counted them?
I got to ask you something.
Who counted?
When you started.
I got very lucky with Goosebumps.
Yeah, luck. Yeah, hard work.
Yeah.
The idea for Goosebumps comes from where, when, how?
I was doing a series for older kids, for teenagers, called Fear Street. And it was a teen terror series. And my editors came to me and they said, let's try a series for younger kids, a scary series for 7 to 12-year-olds.
Age appropriate.
And I said, no. That's the kind of businessman I am.
No.
I said, no, I don't want to do
What,
it.
you didn't see the market or you weren't interested?
No, I didn't want to mess up Fear Street. I was afraid it would mess up the audience. And they kept after me. And finally, I said, all right, if I can think of a good name for a series, we can do a few. And one day I was reading TV Guide, and it had TV listings inside. And there at the bottom of the page, it was an ad. It said, it's Goosebumps Week on Channel 11. They were showing scary movies. And I just stared at it. I mean, there was the word. There was the word.
That was it?
I said, we'll call it Channel 11. That's a bad joke.
It's okay.
I know.
You can get away with it.
That's where I found the word
books, you can get away with it.
Yeah.
So you saw Goosebumps. You said, I want to give him Goosebumps.
It's perfect because it's scary, but it's also funny. And
Yes.
that's what I knew I had to do for younger kids. It couldn't be, I don't want to terrify kids.
Right.
It had to be funny, too. And it was the perfect word. It worked out.
But it was a team thing because your wife...
My wife has a company called Parachute Press. They're independent producers of TV, she and her partner. And most of my books go through her company. I'm married to my editor.
Yeah.
Steve.
How does that
I'm
work?
married. It's a horror story. What do you mean? I'm
No
married
kidding.
to my editor.
But-
Yeah, and she's a really tough editor. She's really good.
But it's good for the
I don't-
marriage.
It's worked out. We've been married. We're the oldest living married couple in America.
You are, aren't you?
We are, yeah.
And your son, Matt.
Matt, yeah.
What's interesting is you have said that one of your actually you said your favorite Goosebumps book is The Haunted Mask, which was inspired by your son Matt.
Yeah,
at what
very
age?
few Goosebumps books come from real life. Mostly I have to just think, it comes out of my head from somewhere. Who knows?
Right.
But this one, Matt was a little guy. He was like 8, 9, 10 years old. And it was before Halloween. And I was watching him, and he was trying on a green rubber Frankenstein mask. Right. And he pulled it down over his head, and then he couldn't get it off. And I'm watching from the doorway, and he's tugging and tugging. And I thought, what a great idea for a story. And I should have helped him. I should have helped him take the mask off,
That's what a
right?
good dad
I did
would
not.
do.
Yeah, I did not
But
get.
you saw a possibility.
I didn't get the Good Dad Award that day. I just started making notes and saying, oh, yeah, the mask, it sticks to her face.
Yes.
It can't come off. And that's really how the Haunted Mask came about, thanks to Matt.
Well, big difference between that and Red Rain.
Oh, yes.
Red Rain, okay, here's the deal. There's a young woman named Leah. Mm-hmm. And she has these, she adopts these twin boys.
Leah is a travel blogger.
Yeah.
She goes to this Outer Banks island off the coast of South Carolina,
Right.
One that I made up, not a real one, not a tourist island, a lot of strange stories. And the next day, she is caught in a devastating hurricane that just destroys the island, kills half the population, and wrecks everything. Just total devastation, horrible, a scene of horror. And the next morning, she wanders out, wanders to the beach. They're piling up the bodies. There are people moaning and crying. It's horrible. And she wanders to the beach, and it starts to rain. And she looks up, and the raindrops are red, bright red. And she thinks, this is the blood of all the victims raining down on us. And from out of this sheets of red rain step these two beautiful, blonde twin boys. And they say, we're lost, we lost our parents, we don't have a home. And she becomes enthralled by them instantly. And she brings them home to her family in Long Island. And the reader knows that these two beautiful blonde
Just
twins...
sweet kids, aren't they?
They're supernaturally evil. And, I mean, this is what this book is really about. It's about evil kids, because I thought people would find that funny, since I write about so many good kids.
Yes.
It's about evil kids and really naive adults. The
Nice
parents,
combination.
Yeah, the parents don't have a clue. They have no idea what they've brought into their house.
I got to ask you, now this is, how many books in the series?
Well, this is my first adult book in 15 years. This is for grown-ups. This has nothing to do, believe me, this is not a Goosebumps book.
Okay, but...
This is not for kids.
But the transition, forget about the transition. What made you say, I want to do this for adults?
Here's why. This is the 20th anniversary of Goosebumps. And all those kids who read Goosebumps back in the 90s, now they've grown up. They're all in their 20s, they're in their 30s. And you know, I keep in touch with them on Twitter. And they're wonderful. I mean, it's a wonderful thing for me. I mean, that was my audience. We had just millions. And it was, you know, Goosebumps was a craze in the 90s. And they say, thank you for getting me through my childhood. I wouldn't be a writer today if it wasn't for you. I wouldn't be a librarian today if it wasn't for you. And then they'd say, please write something for us. Please write something for your original audience. And I got so many messages like that. I thought, well, I can't ignore them. Those are my kids. I can't ignore them, right?
That's where
and
it
that's
came
why
from?
that's why I wrote Red Rain. Yeah.
You were so, it's so interesting on social media. You didn't say, I want to do a poll. You just had this ongoing dialogue.
I can keep in touch with it's what a great thing to be able to keep in touch with all my old kids.
You know, the whole thing, the cliche question, I got to ask you before I let you out of here, the whole writer's block thing.
Well, yeah.
You looked at me funny as soon as I said it.
Yeah, because I've never had it. Other writers hate me for this. But writing is actually the only thing I'm competent at. No, you can ask my wife. Steve, you can ask my wife. It's the only thing I'm good at.
Your editor? She'll
Yes.
say that? That's
Yeah,
something you're good
that's
at?
the only thing I'm good at. But the secret is, I don't ever just sit down and start to write, ever. I do a complete outline of every book before I write it. I do all the thinking. I do a complete chapter-by-chapter outline of every book first. And it's got, this is what happens in chapter 1. This is what happened. And I know the ending. Before I start to write, I know everything that's going to happen in the book. So how can I have writer's block? I've done the hard part.
You're very well organized.
I'm cut
You're
out
good,
for
good
this.
with time management?
I'm cut out, yeah. It's like factory work to me. It's like,
A little more creative.
I'm cut out for it.
In addition to his newest novel, Red Rain, R.L. Stine has added another book to the Goosebumps series in honor of the 20th anniversary, titled The Haunted Mask. To find out more, visit rlstine.com. True artists can find beauty and inspiration in the darkest hours. And that is true of photographer Daniel Riebert, who discovered his love for art and photography in the face of personal hardship. Rob Stewart has the story.
Well, my photography comes from within me. I like to be very active in my photography. Most of what I do, it's a lot of the light setting up, getting the angles from the sun. And then I go into Photoshop usually for hours on just one single image. I bring out the contrast in every single dimension, every single shape. I just bring out the contrast. That's what I like to do.
One of the things that I really thought was really cool when I was first looking at your pictures is it's a whole fresh new perspective on art.
I like to have human subjects, just any kind of aspect of humans, because that's what we all can relate to the most, I think. Whether it be in a park or urban setting, I need people, because I think that's really expressive.
Now, all of this has been a journey for you, both your art and some pretty tough roads with health since you were born. You were born with cancer.
I don't tell many people about my story, what I've been through, but when I was born with cancer, a rare form of cancer in my adrenal gland. I was very sick,
Until about the age of 4.
Yeah, until about the age of 4 is when they took it out, the cancer, after some chemotherapy.
And then you were clear until the age of 12?
About 12. I was announced clear, and then a random x-ray I had to take revealed some nodules, some tumors in my kidneys.
And what happened?
They had to be taken out.
Both kidneys?
Both kidneys.
Wow. And then your father gave you one of his kidneys.
Right.
And now you're up to the age of about 15. And tell me what happens.
About 15, I got the transplant. There were many complications.
Here you are today now. How old are you?
I'm 22.
22, and you're healthy?
Yes.
And how did you get through all of that? Did art play a role in that for you?
Yes, it did. In the hospital, when I was actually physically able to lift my hands and think straight, I wanted to distract myself with some art. I didn't have a computer with me, I didn't have any cameras, but I did have oil pastels. And I did a piece on that, and I wanted to really bring out the people that helped me. The piece is about people interacting. They're all part of one body of
saving you.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, they all helped me in many ways they don't even know, to help me, encourage me to not give up, keep going, never give up.
What did you learn from all that, Daniel?
Well, really never give up. I didn't stop doing art even when I was very sick and weak. I had my scars, and I wanted to show how I got something out of that experience. Like, it changed me. So I got the idea to have a part of me, a different part of me, you know, a joyous, carefree, better person coming out of me.
It made you better. You really believe that?
I believe it.
How?
Well, I know that I can't take anything for granted. I have to be in the moment, especially when taking photos. I have to give it all I have.
And art has helped you through the pain.
Yes.
So what would you say to somebody else who may be going through tough times?
Keep doing what inspires you to be you. For me, it was my art. I know that I'm not myself without my art. So,
are you happy today?
I'm happy today.
Well, Daniel, I tell you, it's been really inspiring hearing your story. And I'm sure it's inspiring and uplifting for people as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For sharing. I'll let you get back to what you really love, and that's taking pictures. All right, Daniel, thanks.
To see more of Daniel Riebert's photography, visit danriebert.artworkfolio.com. For more arts and culture, visit azpbs.org/artbeat, where you'll find featured videos and information on the Arizona art scene. Funding for Artbeat Nation was made possible by contributions to aid from viewers like you. Thank you.